Welcome to the Cooking for Man channel. Today we're going to be making some bagels. Bagels are great. Everybody talks about not eating bread anymore, but it's nothing better than eating a bagel in the morning. It's awesome, gets your morning going. So you have the list of ingredients right there. This is fairly easy recipe. This recipe will get you at least 12 bagel done up, and then it goes fairly quick. So I'm going to be using some warm water out of the tap. It doesn't have to be hot, just warm. One full tablespoon of yeast. What I'm doing with that is I'm going to be adding some honey on it. And then once I got my honey added, really all I'm going to do is mix it up a bit so I can get the chemical reaction going. Obviously, all my dry ingredients are going to go together in the same bowl. And then after that, I'll be able to mix my wet and my dry ingredients. Bagel are awesome. I'm obviously using almond flour. I want to get as much protein as I can in those bagel. Fairly cheap to make when you compare it to bagels that you'll buy at the protein store for $7 or $8 for 6. You can do that for under 50 cents a bagel. Very, very easy. Probably closer to the quarter a bagel. So I do that part of my meal prep every weekend. Either I do that or I do some protein cookies. So I'm making a small hole in the middle, and then I'm pouring the liquid in it, and that's after I'll just mix that up in a big base. Once I'm happy with that base, I'll let that rest for at least an hour. I can go an hour or two or 3 or 4, depending on what you want to do. First thing I do in my meal prep, that's what I'll do. I'll do this mix, and then I'll carry on with the rest of the stuff. So I'm taking my my mix out. It looks fairly sturdy. If it's a bit wet still, don't worry about it. Just add a bit of flour and then just mix it up a bit more until it gets easy enough to move around and play with it. That's the main important thing to do, right? Be able to work with your bagel. So once I get that done, I'm going to be adding flour here and there, and then just keep on doing the fold as I go. So for the fold themselves, I'll try to do about 10 at least. Add a bit of flour every time I do the fold, and then get those going. I'm trying to get a bit of air into it so my bagel's not too dense. And the problem with the almond flour, obviously, it doesn't rise as much as the normal flour. It's a lot more dense, and if you don't do that, what you'll do is you'll get some, if you don't do enough, if you don't let enough air into your bagel, you'll be eating like small rocks. There's a good chance you're going to mess this up the first few times, but once you get good at it, seriously, it's a lot of fun, and it's something to be proud of. Show up to work and show your homemade protein bagel. It's good to go. What I do once in a while, I will add some amp or some crushed chia seed in it. It doesn't really change in the cooking part of it itself. You'll cook it exactly the same. Once I'm happy with the textures, once I fold it up at least 10-15 times, I'll divide that into 4 small part, and then I'm gonna start working to get my bagel going. So I'm working it. So I've played with it, and now I'm gonna do that a few times. And if I see that it's wet, what I'll do is I'll put a bit of flour in the wet spot just to kind of get it dry, and then I'll fold it a few more times so there's no more wet spot on it. So while I'm doing that, obviously, every time I play around with them, it gives time for the bagel itself to keep on taking a bit of size. I'll roll them up one after the other, and I'll do that process twice to get a bit more out of it. Don't be surprised the first time you'll do it. You'll see when you roll it, it's fairly small. It'll be half an inch in diameter. Just keep on doing it. If you let them be too big when you put them in the actual oven, the problem that you're going to encounter is very simple. It's not going to be a bagel anymore. It's going to look like a bun for a hamburger. So work it a few times. Put a lot of flour so it doesn't stick to your hand, and just keep on rolling it. This process, when you're starting out the first couple times, you'll see probably take you about 10-15 minutes. It's a bit of a pain, but once you get good at it, you just start flying, and then you can just start throwing the dough around, and no big worries. It gets going. Eating a bagel again that you made yourself is one fun thing, even more when you can share it I do like to make some other stuff with this, with the dough once in a while when I have too much. Fairly friendly to do. I tell you, you'll probably mess it up the first time. Just don't quit. You know, it's easy to say don't quit, but the real thing is you don't want to quit. So just try a few more times. Once you get good at it, very gratifying. So if you're looking at, I'm stretching on both sides now, and the length of it and the size that it's going, that's pretty well how it's gonna look like. Now I'm gonna cut that in half, and with obviously that length, I'll be able to make 2 actual bagels. You see the size of it? It's about 1/2 inch in diameter, and that's when you fold it and you make your circle. Right now, before it's not cooked, the circle looks a bit big. Don't worry, once you put it in the actual oven, it will keep on growing, and then that hole is going to become a lot smaller. So I got an egg on there and I'm using the egg basically to put over it. It'll give it that little yellow kind of look to the bagel. And then once that is on, what you can do is any seeds that you like, chia seeds or whatever, you can just spray on top. Just, you can get funky with this stuff. At the end of the day, is whatever you feel like. This is what it is. In my meal prep, I do oatmeal breakfast pretty well all the time, but to start the day with a bagel is always good. So hopefully you guys try it out. Hopefully you guys have fun. If you have any ideas, just send them out my way. Thanks for watching. Join the channel and have a good one and enjoy.